You hear and witness horror stories of increasing numbers of people developing mental or physical illnesses that appear random. This is caused from the many harmful chemicals that people produce and release into everything. You think by now that there should be some law banning the creation of these substances. Our economy's supply and demand system is highly reliant on the harmful resources that the legal system won't simply transition to healthier alternatives on their own, since there wouldn't be enough positive short-term results. This is why we the people should make the change ourselves to prove we don't need the harmful versions of these products. Personally, I've grown up hearing about all the ways people are endangering several species, including ourselves, with our wasteful and harmful habits. This doesn't just mean population, but the numbers of moderately healthy specimens. It's become such an issue that it's constantly disregarded, so much that I've been encouraged to borrow, collect, and share knowledge to hopefully influence more people to start the change. So I've done plenty of research to back up my claims. Pollution is greatly harming the environment, which doesn't only affect us. The first big step to solving the issue is to have more natural, renewable, and reusable resources lawfully mass-produced for the public to consume rather than the alternative, so people and the planet will see healthy changes. Pollution is the release of harmful chemicals, products, and substances into the environment, most of which is man-made. Humans aren't the only ones who pollute, but we definitely do it the most. The USA alone is known to have one of the highest rates of producing harmful wastes such as discarded plastics and the burning of fossil fuels. Non-renewable resources are ones that can't be repurposed once it's used up or takes a severe amount of time for it to be naturally produced, such as fossil fuels. Renewable resources are ones that can be used several times over before needing to be discarded or is constantly being cycled, like loofah plants or water energy. People are going to produce waste. Anything we discard will take a certain amount of time to break down, and anything burned will produce harmful smoke. It would be nice if we could be like every other species and rely only on natural resources that benefit the cycle of life, but we've gone entirely too deep into this electronical age that it seems almost impossible. Corporations are pushing products that are harmful and wasteful onto consumers because it's less expensive than other options, all while polluting. The factories that do so are squeezing together chemicals extracted and altered unnaturally from oils to make things such as plastic, or people to seal their food in or have a small trinket for temporary entertainment. In the process, they release tons of CO2 clouds and other forms of toxicities that get released into our lungs for our bodies to absorb and become damaged. Transitioning dependency to less harmful resources will take effort and money, but will be beneficial in the long run. The overall concept would be to ditch the less expensive but more harmful products altogether and only produce the more expensive but less harmful stuff to change the standard for what people should be paying for products. The point is to benefit living organisms, not a fabricated economy. Simple examples include producing reusable and washable bags for shopping, silicone and glass cooking products, etc., instead of man-made plastics that will turn into a burning chemical of sludge in 500 years or 10 years if it's biodegradable. With this plan, people won't be exposed to nearly as many harmful substances, causing less spontaneous illnesses and abnormalities. The environment will also begin to heal from the decades of damage we've already caused. Then people will start to encourage life growing rather than thinking nothing of the negative influences from us wanting convenience. The destroyer for convenience shouldn't be considered the norm in order to survive. Starting the change now will allow us to teach younger generations to live without constantly harming everything, and they will know how to do good for the planet with much less effort than we had to put in. We've been hearing this argument in bits and pieces throughout our lives, but because of our dependency on the government and corporations telling us what to buy based on what seems like the best scenario, we don't acknowledge them seriously. Even with all the dropped hints, we still produce many harmful chemicals and release them into everything. You'd think by now that there would be some law banning the creation of these substances. This pollution is greatly harming the environment, which doesn't only affect us. The start of solving the issue is to have renewable and reusable resources lawfully mass-produced instead of the alternative, so people can develop the idea of positively beneficial change for the planet. Since it's clear that this won't happen on its own, we as people must act ourselves and prove that we don't need to rely on shitty products. I remember as a kid being told about reducing, reusing, and recycling, and trying my best to do so, but feeling as if I was failing because I wasn't given access to the proper resources to make an impact. Now I'm an adult who's developed proper communication skills to do just that. Let me be the last hint dropped. Let's finally make that change. Thank you.